Again, I want to just give some context around this study skill. I love this study skill. And it's named after US President Dwight D. Eisenhower, who famously said, and I quote, "I have two kinds of problems, the urgent and the important. The urgent are not important, and the important are never urgent." And so that was his perspective, and here's why we are here today. Excuse me. So, again, we have the do it now quadrant. So these tasks are very, very important. And these are the ones that you don't really want to start due to the amount of energy you'll have to invest in them. Now I'm going to pull up some examples per section, and I'm going to do that by just sharing my screen on the do it now section so you know what we're talking about, and then I'm going to share with you. So the important, and again, as I said before, to reiterate clearly, these are subjective, which means it's up to you to decide where you fit these things. Obviously, if it's an assessment, it's not subjective because you're not going to do an assessment that's due in 3 months before one that's due in 2 weeks. That's standard. So looking at important and urgent. So these are high stakes firefighting tasks. They have immediate consequences. So, for example, if you're in the tech world or if you're doing a website, you're fixing a critical server outage or a website bug which causes lost sales. That's, a work. It's looking at your deadlines. You've got to complete a client presentation or business contract that's due today. It could be the same as an essay, but hopefully you've not left the essay tonight before. In an ideal world, obviously things do happen. Emergencies, so addressing a last minute crisis or attending an emergency medical appointment. That has to be done right now. It's for your health. Let's look at now the scheduler time. And I'll talk to you a bit more about how you can manage each bit shortly. So this really is a sweet spot, as it's called, for personal and professional growth. The strategic planning. So an example would be mapping out, as I said before, a long-term hiring plan or next quarter's marketing strategy, looking at those phases we mentioned before. Or learning a new skill, exercising regularly, or upskilling via online courses. And I'll do another video on upskilling and the importance of it. Maintenance, it could be your routine car maintenance or dental checkups that prevent those future phase 1 crises. It could be working on your essay to prevent a future Q1 crisis. Quadrant 1 is Q1. Or it could be networking and proactive relationship building. Okay, and then here we are on the delegate quadrant. So these tasks do often feel pressing because you're kind of relying on someone else's timeline, but you're not moving your own schedule. So, for example, answering routine emails, phone calls, instant messages, organising travel arrangements, scheduling meetings, handling minor requests. Now, if you're the CEO and you've got staff, rely on your staff for these things, to answer phone calls, to answer emails from customers and customer inquiries. It's about delegation. And then looking at the delete section. So, for example, this again, these are things that are subjective, and I'm putting that there so that you all go, so you understand. So examples that have come up frequently in this section is mindless social media scrolling, watching random YouTube videos. Again, as I said, this might benefit you. This might be something you want to do for your mental health. So it's up to you to decide where you put it there. Busy work, so work about work, so excessive sorting and organising. So sometimes we do procrastinate. If we have an essay we have to do, we do procrastinate. It's natural because you don't want to kind of, give that energy, but you've got to just kind of take it step by step, because if you're not careful, you get to the deadline and you've not made any progress. Aimless web browsing or binge watching shows for hours. So there is a balance between watching shows. You want to, obviously, as I always say to people, you've got to prioritize your mental health. And if you think that to prioritize your mental health, you've got to watch your favorite K-drama or whatever drama, do that, but do it in balance so that you're not losing your progress.